as they look to wear down the Dynamo with an aggressive attack that also sees 18-year-old Ryan Olumi get a start up top, along with Matty Bogusz, who'll act more as the number 9 that can do the defensive work as well as use his speed to threaten the space in behind. He is definitely the one to lead this team from a central midfield position now. Ben Olsen loves the fact that he's back in Houston orange.
We are underway here at BC Place Stadium. Expected a very healthy crowd for a midweek match. And look at this 80s night. The Whitecaps in blue with yellow shorts. And the throwbacks for the Dynamo as well, the all-white affair here. So it is very colorful, to say the least, here at BC Place Stadium as Halter goes back to pick it up. Stuck in his own corner. The press right off the bat here for Vancouver, looking to be active. Ross has been sharing the duties, and it will be the outswinging ball instead from Ryan Gauld, going right towards Sabi, but flicked away from distance, and a try from under us. Kubas rises high above the bar.
He doesn't score many, but when he does, they've been from outside the area. Not afraid to hit one there. It fell nicely to him.
Vancouver 6 for Houston thus far.
And it was the outswinger that came from Gauld, and it's great to have him back in the squad. You mentioned how limited his play.
To make some inroads there. Here comes the offering from McGlynn. All the way to the edge of the 6, still there. A chance now, blocked in front. Another chance, and it's cleared.
Just as it's about to cross the goal line, that was Halter who got to it first, and then it falls for Hector Herrera, who picks his spot. They stuck with it, though, against the Sounders. The Whitecaps did on the weekend. They're on short rest. They played late Sunday night, so a quick turnaround for them. Houston having played on Saturday. Of course, the travel involved for Houston to get here, though, as this last bit of the season now, the second half here, condenses the schedule quite a bit. So it's about having a deep squad, having an effective 11 who are out there, but really relying on those players who can come in later and change a game.
It's still busy. Those that are continuing the League's Cup. And Bogusz, will he win this foot race? He will. It's a 2v2, a 3v2 now as Guilherme joins the fray. Bogusz looking to go alone, but then dispossessed from distance. They score! Negri steps up and absolutely labels it into the corner. It's 1-0 Houston.
That is as pure a strike as you will ever see. And all that veteran experience, knew when to take the pop. There's the defending from Laborda. He does a nice job, but wow, you don't want it to fall on the foot of Negri, apparently. That is some strike.
Still rising as it entered the goal. An absolute laser beam. A great look there as Takaoka had a beat on it, but couldn't get in front of it. It's quieted down the fans here at BC Place a little bit. Olumi, heavy touch. Giving the ball away. Negri able to get his pass to Guilherme. Down the wing it goes. A foot race once again. Laborda's been in a few of those. They're trying to catch Takaoka out of his net. Japanese keeper able to.
And I think the Whitecaps have missed some of that. It's impossible not to.
Olumi. Larraz has to chip it back. Post Sabally's there! And it was going off the side of the post anyhow.
Keeper or the defender rushed back on the line, and he flubs it, puts it wide without any power, obviously without the accuracy. And the Whitecaps wearing their 1986er. The 86ers was the Canadian Soccer League team that played. The Whitecaps have been around over 50 years. The 86ers had a spell in the Canadian Soccer League in the 80s, and wearing the uniforms that they wear, or wore at that point. That's why you're seeing the blue and the gold here tonight.
Sabi switching over to the left side because of the
much better positions. Twice tonight, the one time in the first half when he could have laid it across to Ollie Larraz and shot him, got blocked. And then on that occasion, clearly the smarter play would have been to hold it up and play in the players in front of goal.
Guilherme doesn't have numbers yet. Bogusz now just arriving, and a shot through some legs, easily handled by Takaoka. It's been a couple of times where there's been one Houston forward in a very promising position, but just not enough help. Even when Bogusz arrived, it was 2v3 or 4, so tough to make something there.
And the balance that the Whitecaps want to be aware of all the time will edge to the side of more risk, sending more players in advanced positions that will leave more opportunities for Houston to break.
And Houston will have to watch out for is trying to defend for the entire half. Gold whips the ball in. Sabby is there. Strokes one towards goal, but easily handled by Jonathan Bond.
It's another really nice pass. And Sabby on his favored right foot, playing on the off wing from the left side, doesn't connect very well.
That's a nice ball ahead for Bogusz. Laporta got to catch up to it. Takaoka with a left-hand save to keep it a one-goal match.
Thought that was going in.
I did too.
Really had Takaoka.
And the look there that we get. A good one. Artur. And it back from Herrera. Manali up the wing. McGlynn tried to chip it back for him. They keep it in. Artur again, challenged by Larraz. Herrera, two spins. Should be goal, or should be glorious chance at the very least for the Whitecaps, and they let it get away. Back the other way is Ache.
You have to feel that they're missing Brian White, who's so lethal in those areas. That is a grade A chance.
Muller wide for Sabby. Sabby, a couple step overs, it's a goal, they score! Ryan Alumi goes to ground and taps it in, and the 18-year-old levels it at one.
And Cubas got around Hector Herrera. Referee allowed play on. That's what the Houston players are suggesting, is that should have been a foul in the build-up. And as you look at it there's a chop from behind from Larraz as well. So whether or not Cubas did or didn't foul, clearly Oliver Larraz does. And that's the reason I think that this goal will be chalked off.
Do you care that the ball's gone at that point? If that's a clean tackle from Cubas.
It's still in close enough possession of Herrera, though, that he's not able to keep his feet. The initial question of whether it's clear and obvious, I think that is a foul on Herrera.
Fairly quick decision is made. Let's hear it.
After review, none there. 20 Vancouver commits a foul previous to the goal. Final decision, no goal.
Kind of surprising that they've picked out Cubas for the foul, which I didn't think was clear and obvious.
Muller leaves it for Caicedo. Caicedo puts it towards goal. Edge of the six is cleared away. Danger was there. Nobody could get a foot on it for Vancouver. You can see the hunger for the Whitecaps, but they just don't have a lot of solutions for what Houston's showing them right now. Caicedo, one step over. Lots of room for Caicedo. Across the face of goal. Muller! Wide! He says it's redirected. And it is a corner for the Whitecaps. Feed expecting the Ramdeider to find the back of the goal.
And more often than not he does. He scored a fantastic free kick goal where he picked the corner, put it off the post in Seattle. I think he's trying to precisely...
Looking for Muller. Holmes had to get a touch and he saved the corner. He did. It's just going to be a deep throw here for the Whitecaps. Caicedo quickly back in for Adekubi. Muller for Larraz and all sorts of space. He winds up, takes the shot. But another one off the mark. Attempting. What a finish here at BC Place. The long throw. Rising to the occasion again.
Three guesses who that was.
Resh. Georgia has to reach back, makes the turn. Spun around by Sirachi, gets the foul call. It's another set piece, if you can believe it, for the Whitecaps.
Well, they might want to avoid pumping it into the mixer.
And they do. Muller to Gold. 6 minutes is through. We'll add a few seconds at the very least because of the VAR check there. Caicedo to the top of the box. Laporta in the wrong direction. and this could probably do it. Maguire, all alone versus Taco. Could ice it for Houston. Won't be able to do it. But the clock should take care of the rest. Sitting on the touchline. Is there one last trip down the pitch? No, that's it. The whistle goes. And Houston continues the run. It is 8 games without a loss.
Ben, top of the table. Third team in league history to post 5 consecutive shutout victories. What's your thoughts on that result in the current stretch of teams on?
Pretty good first half. The turf always takes a little bit to gain some confidence from the guys. You could see them playing their way into the game. The goal changed a little bit. They got more aggressive in halftime. I think their subs helped, and we were under it for most of that second half. It was hard to get a reprieve. It was hard to build build the game. There were still transition opportunities. We still get 5 shots on target, and we had a few really good ones. But as far as the second half, it was about resiliency and defending the box. And yeah, again, we just couldn't get out in the way we wanted to. I give these guys a lot of credit, and to defend in that way for that duration, and allow them 1 shot on target is pretty impressive. And it says a lot about our group and our defensive efforts. I thought our box defending was great. Resch and Lucas Halter were animals in the middle, and all the guys that put a shift in the outside back position tonight did a great job. And that's a hard position to be at against the Whitecaps here. Again, they're as good as they come in this league for the last couple of years. It's been a joy to watch them, and I think they've represented our league in a really good way. So we had a lot of respect for them coming in. We understood there was a little bit more on the line with the first place situation, and the guys gave each other everything, and that always makes a coach proud.
All right, thanks, sir. We'll start with a few locals back home first. Alex, go ahead.
Yes, first coach from me. Good morning. Can you hear me?
I got you.
Coach, I was going to begin with the resiliency of your defense. Agustin Resch again shining bright, but he wasn't the only one. You already mentioned their effort. Clearly this continues to build, and it's been a solid foundation for the team all season.
Yeah, as I say, when we start to throw out individual names when we talk about defensive, when we talk about these shutouts, I always kind of skirt it for a reason, and it is a collective. And this group, whether it's Guilherme, whether it's the center backs, they give for each other, and that's a special thing. And they're buying into that because it's giving us a chance to win games. So as we continue to work on, being more dangerous and dealing with the ball a little bit more on an away game like this, and how do we relieve pressure, or how do we finish off some of these transitions to make our life a little easier, that'll continue to grow. But again, the effort part is something we're proud of.
Coach, you've been reading the run up to this match. Words like surprised, where did they come from? Top of the table now, there's no more surprise about the quality of your team this season. Does that change your approach to anything you're doing? I'm sure you're going to say no, but a lot of people are surprised by the Houston Dynamo thus far this season and leading currently in the Western Conference.
Well, we're always a little bit of an afterthought, in this league, and that's just how it's been since I've been here, and at times in the past. So we're still digging out of that, and we have to put ourselves on the map and make teams in the league respect us. And I think this group has the right personality to do that. But we won't change. We won't. This group is it's too experienced. I wasn't worried about the ups and downs as we win this and keeping them in the middle ground. They just seem to expect this right now, and that's a really healthy feeling. So I'll keep smelling him, and if I need to crack the whip and bring him back down to earth, I'll certainly do that. But they seem pretty mature and reasonable about the situation they're in. But we just got to keep going. We just got to keep adding up points. This is a quick turnaround. We got a tough schedule ahead of us. We're going to a hot St. Louis team who beat us in the Open Cup in that shootout, and we just like to continue this.
Coach, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Safe travels.
Herman, go ahead. Herman, are you there?
I am.
Cool.
Thanks, Coach. I just want to ask you about Lawrence. Just making sure he's okay. Just fatigue. I know he put in a shift tonight.
Yeah, he put in a shift, and he was just cramping up, and they just kept bringing another rapid winger after rapid winger over there, and so he just started cramping, and a lot of guys did, and that's goes to show you it's a 5-hour flight. It's on turf, and this is a very, very, we say it all the time, going away is tough in this league, but coming here is very tough, and again, just because of the travel, because of the turf, and for these guys to hang in there like this was it was fun to watch.
And I also wanted to ask you about Guillermo's sub. I'm sure you did what was best for him, knowing that there's a game this weekend. But
I don't want to sub Guillermo. He's our best player. But as a coach, sometimes you have to make difficult decisions, and sometimes that means taking out somebody that is on fire, and for the benefit of the team. And sometimes you get it wrong when you do that. He wasn't excited about it. The guy likes to play. He's a star, and he wants to be on the field, and he's damn good. He was working hard, but he took a little knock at halftime, and we decided we needed just a little bit of a different look, and we hung on, and we got through it. So I think he'll be okay, and then they save him a little bit for St. Louis as well.
And lastly, for me, we saw a debut tonight. Sarachi came on, physical presence, just what you saw from him.
To come into that game in that situation for the last 20 minutes, that asks a lot for a brand new guy. You talk about throwing him into the fire, and he made 3 or 4 really big time plays at the back stick, and against bigger boys. He's going to help us a lot, and I'm excited he's here. He's fit in with the group. He's got real personality, so he's already yelling back at me at training when I call a foul. So he's got the personality we like.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Sam, go ahead.
Ben, congratulations.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, congrats. 5 straight wins, 5 hours flight from Houston to Vancouver. And I just want to ask, Franco Negro's goal, beautiful goal. What did you see from that play, and how was that goal important to tilt the balance of this game tonight?
Well, goals are important in the game of soccer, especially it's a low scoring it's a low scoring game. So yeah, it was a great strike, and he got the game ball in there, and he had some great words for the team, and he's a guy that's had to wait his moment to get the minutes that he's showing that he deserves. So it's and the last 2 games he's been very, very solid, and he's going against tough opponents. I mean, the wingers that this team has, the wingers that LA Galaxy are very tough tasks, but he's waited his time, he's been patient, and he's really helped the team lately.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Sam.
Well, Jorge, go ahead.
Coach, congrats on the win. Like you mentioned yesterday, actually, a completely different Vancouver team from the last time you played them. But, do you believe this was the biggest challenge so far into the season?
Yeah, I think if you look at the last, since we've come back, this is the team that is certainly the on paper and historically the hardest to beat, especially here in Vancouver. So it was again really a great performance from our guys, and we got to patch each other up and get on a plane tomorrow and go to St. Louis and see what we can do there.
Coach, you're on pace to continue breaking records. Just what does it mean to you to be here and be a part of this history so far?
Well, I've really grown to love this club, and I've really loved to grow this. Grown to love the city of Houston, this group, the team, my staff. It's nice to have a little bit of success here, and hopefully the fans are behind us, and that we can continue this. I work with good people, and I'm happy for them as well that we are in the spot we're at and making a little bit of noise, because as I said, Houston, we're not necessarily, it's not that we're not used to this, because I think there's a lot of players in there, and I've been in these positions as well, but from a club standpoint, this is a nice place to be right now. We have to enjoy it, but we have to stay very, very hungry and humble and understand that there's so much more we can do with this group and keep pushing. But again, it starts tomorrow with preparations for St. Louis.
Coach, like you said, sorry, last one for me. You turn the page really quick, midweek game. You've got this Saturday, but is there anything else you can say about this group?
Nope. I just said a lot. You gotta take something out of those early ones. I'm fading here.
All right.
It's late.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, buddy.
Selvin, go ahead.
Can you talk more about tonight's performance and what else does this team need now that they're top of the league?
We don't need anything. We're perfect. We're perfect. No, we're still looking to add to this group, and they got to be the right people, and they got to be the right fits for what is already a good group. So we'll just keep trying to get better. These guys know this is that we rode our luck a little bit tonight. The second half, we don't want to defend like that for that long. We should be able to secure the game and hit them in transition when they're that aggressive. So there's room to grow, but it's nice to be able to fall back on grittiness and a team that embraces defending.
And something that's not growing is the new turf out there. It's the first time Houston's been on it. Your thoughts on the roll of the ball, the bounce, and all that?
It took a little bit for the guys. The old turf was different than this one, yeah, and never bounces. It's a little bit strange in that way, and the ball checks up, and there are some different elements to this, and I think that's why a lot of times you see Vancouver get off to a good start. Their repress, they press very well. They're athletic. They can hit you. They can go 1v1 with guys like Guilherme and deal with them at times. So they're a very, very difficult team, and they're a different challenge than all the other teams that we played since we came back. So the turf was fine. It was fine.
Your team has shut them out twice this year in MLS, 1-0. What's the key to that? Because that doesn't happen a lot to the Whitecaps. What's the biggest factor for that?
I don't know if it's specific to the Whitecaps. I think it's what I've said for the last 15 minutes about our group and being collective in how we go about the defensive effort, and everybody gives, and then the subs come in and they give what they have. There's clarity in how we go about defending. I think Marcelo, a guy who spends a lot of time, and Lowen, our data analysts, they spend a lot of time on game plans, and we're switching up quite a bit from game to game and asking the players to do a lot of things tactically, and they're open to it, and I think they trust us, and that's a healthy thing, and then they're implementing it.
And I know there's lots of talk about focusing just on the next game, but do you let yourself dream of potentially playing deep into December with this team?
I think we always dream about that as we get into a season, and especially once you start to see some potential in a team click. But this is. I got a lot of games, man. I've been through the MLS too many seasons as a player and coach to get too riled up right now. I think we need to just keep pushing and try to grab as many points as we can, and within that, get better and keep pushing and understand, get one or two more players in here and integrate them into the group, and just keep rolling.
How do you manage that kind of expectation? Because I imagine some of the players get quite excited about thinking maybe too far down the road.
Well, I can manage that. I think I can, doing this enough, I can smell when we're a little complacent. And again, sometimes it's, if we have to smack them back down to reality, because again, we got to just look at this game today. It was a good game plan. They followed it. But it could have went the other way very quickly against a talented team. So we'll just keep trying to grow. Yeah.
You mentioned some of this already, but I just want to ask again just about one part of the mentality of your team. Often in football we talk about to get results like you did today, you have to suffer as a team. In the second half, you guys really suffered.
Yeah.
Saw very little of the ball.
Yeah.
Were not able to get out nearly as much as you wanted to.
Right.
But that kind of, like you said, the collectiveness of, hey, we're in this together and we're going to battle for each other kind of nonstop. How important is that, and how you kind of keep that mentality going forward to continue the run that you're on?
I think you keep it with continuing to bring in players that have that mentality. This isn't like a surprise that these guys are doing that, because that's a part of our recruitment process. It's part of our DNA, is to give each other everything you have, and sometimes that means digging in and doing the dirty work to figure out how to get the points. And there's going to be days with that we're playing in Houston and it's 100 degrees, and Vancouver comes to us, and it's not going to look like this because they're going to be exhausted from the heat, and we're going to have the ball. So we want to be a team that can sit low and transition. We want to be a team that can break down low pressure and repress and have the ball as well. It just depends on the opponent, the moment, how many games, who's available. So we throw a lot at these guys. We're changing tactically constantly, and these guys take the information, and I credit the staff a lot that they're really buying into what we're selling.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
So, ¿qué se siente al conseguir otra victoria y marcar el golazo?
No, la verdad, muy contento por el grupo. La verdad, venimos trabajando muy duro para poder dejar al club en lo más alto. La verdad que era un partido, sabíamos que era un partido difícil, una cancha difícil, pero nosotros nos mentalizamos en que teníamos que venir a ganar y tratar de llevarnos los 3 puntos.
Gracias. Alex, go ahead.
Franco, primero, muy buen día. Espero que me escuches primero.
Sí.
Franco, felicidades por la victoria. Te voy a preguntar del golazo que definió y ayudó a los 3 puntos, pero también el esfuerzo defensivo realmente fue una parte inmensa de esta victoria sobre Vancouver.
Sí, la verdad que vi que la jugada venía avanzando, lo vi a Mati correr y traté de acompañar la jugada, justo quedó rebote y traté de pegarle y terminar la jugada. Gracias a Dios salió con un gol. Pero valoro mucho la entrega del grupo, como lo decís vos, en lo defensivo. Como te dije, sabíamos que era un equipo que jugaba bien al fútbol, que aprovechaba mucho eso, y nosotros teníamos que estar compactos y aprovechando ese tipo de jugadas para tratar de ganar el partido, y así fue. Lo defendimos hasta el final con mucha entrega, y estoy muy contento por el grupo.
El grupo defensivamente agregó el día de hoy a Chelo, Marcelo, Sarachi. Platícanos de su integración y de que inmediatamente han tenido un impacto positivo.
No, la verdad que hablamos con él, lo tratamos de contagiar y decir todas las cosas. Él lo vio en los entrenamientos, cómo venía el grupo, en los partidos. El partido pasado también estuvo presente, lamentablemente no pudo estar. Pero creo que entró de la mejor manera, va a sumar y aportar mucho al grupo. Defensivamente es muy bueno y creo que al grupo le sirve. Y creo que todos estamos contagiados de eso que estamos haciendo dentro de la cancha, que es tratar de ganar y dejar a Houston en lo más alto.
Y Franco, la última para mí, en estos momentos en la tabla de posiciones en el primer lugar, ya gente en la liga está obviamente viendo al equipo de Houston, lo que han hecho hasta el momento, menos presión, o ustedes mantienen una consistencia en lo que tienen que enfocar.
No, sabemos que partido a partido va a ser más complicado, creemos que tenemos un grupo fuerte, pero no nos tenemos que conformar con esto, creemos que tenemos para dar más y mejorar más, y si sumamos eso creo que va a ser un equipo muy difícil de vencer, porque nosotros estamos con mucha hambre de hacer historia con el club y creemos que tenemos el grupo para hacerlo.
Perfecto, gracias por tu tiempo, qué golazo, felicidades.
Muchas gracias, hasta luego.
Armand, go ahead.
Franco, buenos días, felicidades por el gol. Previo a este encuentro, mucha gente no confiaba en que el Houston Dynamo era un puntero de la tabla legítimo. ¿Cuál fue la mentalidad antes de este encuentro del grupo? ¿Cuál fue el mensaje que les daban en el entrenamiento previo a este partido? ¿Y cómo lo tomaron ustedes? ¿Fue una oportunidad para probarse en frente de toda la liga, que plantar su bandera y decir somos un equipo a competir?
No, la verdad que nos preparamos mentalmente en la semana. Sabíamos que iba a ser un encuentro muy difícil porque ellos tienen un modelo de juego muy bueno. Nos preparamos también para tratar de venir a imponernos porque sabíamos que el que ganaba se iba a quedar con la punta, y nosotros queríamos la punta, y como te dije recién, queremos hacer historia con el club y teníamos que venir a ganar. Entonces el equipo se preparó mentalmente para eso, sabíamos que defensivamente íbamos a tener que hacer un trabajo fuerte, lo hicimos, aprovechamos la oportunidad que tuvimos y defendimos el resultado hasta el final, así que estoy muy contento por el grupo.
Mi última pregunta es, ya llevan 5 partidos de mantener el arco en 0, en 5 ganes. ¿Qué fue lo que cambió después de la Copa del Mundo, ¿verdad? Ese descanso que se tuvo? El equipo ha regresado bien enfocado, jugando intensamente. En su opinión, ¿qué es lo que se prendió el switch? Porque algo cambió, algo ha cambiado y este equipo está enrachado.
La verdad que lo que cambiamos puerta adentro fue unir más de grupo. Tratamos de ser una familia que se acompaña en los buenos y en los malos momentos. Empezamos a pensar de esa manera y que todo, como el que entra a jugar de titular como el que está de suplente, aporta de grupos, es muy importante. Empezamos a pensar de esa manera y creemos que eso ha sido uno de nuestros fuertes para que el grupo esté respondiendo de la manera que responda, de que cada jugador que tenga la oportunidad de entrar sienta la responsabilidad de que este equipo tiene que hacer historia y que tenemos que dejar algo acá marcado en la MLS.
Gracias, Franco, felicidades nuevamente.
Hasta luego, gracias.
We just have a few more minutes, so we'll go Jorge, Selvin, and then we'll wrap it up.
Franco, buenas noches, felicidades por el triunfo y el gol. Creo que despertó las hazañas. Cuéntame de usted en lo personal, ¿verdad? Un jugador que pues no disputa mucho en los minutos, pero ha tomado ventaja de estos momentos. Háblanos de eso.
No, la verdad que a principio de año estuve con una lesión, una pubalgia aguda que no me dejó estar al 100%. Trataba de entrenar, trataba de sumar, pero me lo impedía. Ahora me estoy sintiendo mucho mejor y gracias a Dios la dejé atrás. Entonces eso ha sido un paso grande que yo he dado a través de mi confianza para volver a poder estar en ritmo, en competencia, poder aportarle al grupo desde donde me toque. Pero bueno, voy a pelear para poder estar en el 11 obviamente y como te dije, cada jugador se debe sentir importante y aportarle al grupo esa confianza, esa responsabilidad para poder tratar de ganar y estar todo unido.
Y sé que hablaste un poco sobre el tema, pero ¿qué más tiene que hacer el grupo para seguir en esta racha? El profe Ben ha dicho tienen que estar humildes y seguir luchando.
No, yo creo que el trabajo, ser humilde, estar con los pies sobre la tierra, tratar de seguir trabajando partido a partido para poder tratar de mejorar en las cosas que podamos mejorar. creo que el grupo ha respondido de la mejor manera, pero como te dije, tenemos que encontrar variantes, tenemos que seguir trabajando para poder sumarle al equipo más determinación y obviamente mejorar en aspectos que por ahí nos falta mejorar, pero creo que hasta ahora hemos venido haciendo un trabajo muy, muy bueno, se ha demostrado en la cancha y creo que hay que seguir por ese camino, enfocándonos en poder tratar de seguir ganando y partido a partido.
Gracias, buen viaje.
Hasta luego.
Selvin, one more just to wrap it up, then we gotta go.
Hablando sobre el encargo que te dan a ti para la responsabilidad que te mantiene a seguir enfrente. Y luego, háblanos sobre a quién le dedicaste el golazo el día de hoy.
Perfecto. No, el técnico me pide que por ahí sea un poco más tranquilo, que no pase tanto al ataque, que le dé más solidez defensiva al equipo, para que otros jugadores puedan encontrar los espacios. Y el gol se lo dedico a mi pareja, que me banca en los momentos más buenos y malos, a mi familia que está lejos y a toda la gente que está siguiendo a Houston y que nos acompaña día a día para cumplir este sueño entre todos.